Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review of episode 12, the finale of 91 Days, and man, what a finale it was. Like, this has been a journey, this anime, and it's likely one of my favorites of all time already. It was just incredible, and the ending to me was incredible in a way that I wasn't expecting, because I was sort of expecting the normal, this dude against this dude go after each other, try to kill each other, both probably end up dying in the end. I was expecting just this big, all-out, climactic fight and stuff, but they went a different direction with it that I thought was a really awesome direction. I honestly really loved this. So, let's just go through, I guess, and I've got my notes here because there was a lot to talk about just to help me remind me of what all I need to talk about. So let's go ahead and get into it part by part. And starting off, we do see Angelo with the Galasias, and it seems as though Strega is burning the playhouse. And then we see Nero finding and grabbing him already, which I was like, whoa, this is way early, where's this coming from? But we do go back in time, and we flash back and forth a lot. If there was any one complaint I had, and it's not even a big complaint, it's that maybe we flash back and forth a little bit too much, and we should have been a little bit more linear there. But either way, I thought it was really good, so that's not even a big complaint. Like, I don't even think that takes away any points from the episode as a whole. That's just a personal thing that I thought could have maybe made it even better. But then we go back a little and we see the church surrounded by Strega's men, and a gunfight ensues with the Venettis, of course. So we do see Nero and Tigre talking inside, and a call tells a hotel room to Nero, and I am assuming that that is before he went out and found Angelo, and that call was telling him where Angelo was staying and how to locate him. It wasn't totally completely explained, but then we also see him in the car. I think this is flashing forward a bit, of course, where he's in the car talking with Chirato and Angelo, and Chirato blames Angelo for Corteo's death, which kind of rightfully, I mean, he is kind of at fault for it, but I thought it was really cool and really emotional, and a little bit strange that it was Chirato here during all of this. But Angelo tells Nero about the letter and that it was from Gonzo, and he talks about all the people he's killed, like Volpe and Vano and everybody. And Nero wonders and asks him, why'd you spare my life? But Angelo's like, it's because I wanted you to suffer. I left you alive to suffer the way that I suffered. So Nero with the gun to his head scene, with the gun to Angelo's head, that scene was incredibly powerful to me. I loved that. So, yeah, that was such a strong scene, and there were a lot of really strong scenes here. So Tigre, back when Strega is attacking the place, Tigre tries to cover some guys to escape on a boat and sacrifice himself, but they all end up getting shot down. So Strega ends up just completely wiping out the Venettis and their men at the island. So then we see Nero, Angelo, and Chirato the next day, and they have skipped town. And Angelo and Nero actually ditched Chirato after they skipped town. We see another flashback to when Angelo first woke up with the Galasias, and he talks with Strega, and Strega was like, I saved you to thank you. You've made my plans a hell of a lot easier by taking out the Don for me. Also, I think I have some plans for you, and he wanted to use him, and I think he was going to use him to try to get to Nero, but I don't think it really worked out for him very well. Or, hell, I mean, Nero's gone, so maybe it did work out for him pretty well. Who knows? Then we've got, Then we're back to a diner with Angelo and Nero, and Angelo is telling Nero how to get to the ocean, and then they talk at the campfire later on, and Angelo says that he didn't run away and escape the city after taking his revenge because he wanted to watch it go down. He wanted to watch, everyone suffer, and, I mean, he had nothing left to live for anyway. So at this point, he doesn't care if he lives or dies. He doesn't care about anything. His revenge was the only thing to live for, and now he's got nothing. So now he's just he wishes he'd never survived. He lost all these people, killed all these people, and it was all for nothing, because now that he's got his revenge, he has nothing. It doesn't matter. It didn't get him anything in the end. So I thought that was incredible, and the best scene for me was him arguing with Nero, and just being like, I wish you had shot me. I wish I never survived as a kid. And then seeing the flashbacks of Nero chasing him away when he was a kid and trying to shoot at him but not killing him. It was just really, really incredible. I keep saying that word a lot in this review for some reason. But then we have an odd ending theme placement as they move on towards the ocean like they were doing. And it was really cool seeing how Nero untied Angelo, and it's like, I don't have anything left to live for at this point. He doesn't have anything left to live for. He's not going to kill me because he wants me alive to suffer. I'm not going to kill him unless I want to. Like, they were just in the situation where both of them could kill each other at any minute, or they could just not kill each other at all. And they each had nothing to live for. That was just, to me, I thought that was like incredible. I don't want to say incredible again. It was amazing as well that just the way that worked out, just where their characters had fallen to, was just crazy to me. But then once they make it to the ocean, oh man, I love the Nero where he's like, you don't need a reason to live, just live. And that was so good. And then of course Angelo walks ahead of him a little ways and he's like, I didn't kill you because I didn't want to kill you. And man, the feels are real. Nero aims his gun at his back, and then we're left with that open ending. We hear the gunshot, and we go to Nero driving away smiling. And that's where we end. And we end with the end credits over the waves washing away their footprints, which, so artistic. Freaking beautiful. I loved it so much. I love the artistic stuff like that. So, thoughts on this? The entire idea of it was completely genius. I thought that it was going to go one way and be like a normal climactic resolution or whatever, but they went a completely different way that was a way, way better way than what I would have expected there. And the final product was incredible. So I think that to me this was actually the most stressful and heavy episode, though it did have that calm vibe to it. The whole time I was just like just sitting there in anticipation and chills, like who's gonna kill who, what's gonna go down, something crazy has to happen. Like, it just kept you in suspense, or at least it kept me in suspense the whole time. And I also liked, like I mentioned, the peaceful and calm vibe to it, where it didn't feel like it was crazy. People were killing each other left and right. There was some of that towards the beginning, but for the most part this was just a more somber episode, and I thought that was really good in contrast to last episode, which was crazy, every character dying left and right all the time. And I thought it was really cool to have that big climactic gun battle sort of resolution last episode, and then continue it on into a more somber epilogue. It's not really an epilogue, but just the more of a somber continued ending this episode. I really thought that was good. So I thought it was really cool too, the way it gave you the ability to interpret the ending in different ways. Like, I've seen a few interpretations, so I'm just going to go through the either he died or he didn't die route. For me, I think that the "you just live" line could be like meaning that Nero left Angelo to go and start a new life and just live on despite everything. And that would make sense because of Nero smiling, because if Nero had killed him, Nero now has nobody left in his life. Everyone is dead except Theo, who he sent away. So there's nothing else left in the world, essentially, for Nero right now. So it wouldn't make sense for him to be smiling unless he did have that moral high ground where he was like, even through all of this, I spared his life. I let him go and try to find something new, and now I can go and do the same. Whereas I'm thinking that's more likely now because of the smile, but when I first saw it, I was like, oh, he definitely killed Angelo, and like, because I was like, because that makes more sense. But now that I think about it, that doesn't make more sense, because if he had just killed him, and that would mean that the revenge kind of worked on Angelo's part, and that Nero should be just hollow and broken. He should have nothing left if he killed Angelo, but leaving him alive gives him something. It gives Nero something, and it explains the smile more. So I honestly think he may have lived. Also, I don't think there's going to be a season 2. I really don't. I think this is a great way to end it. But some people keep talking about season 2 possibly. And I will say that I highly, highly doubt it. I'd say almost completely no. But there is this little part of me that's like, well, we don't know where Nero's going from here. We know that Strega is still at large. We know that also Theo is still out there. Angelo likely alive. So I don't know what else they would do with the story from here. And I don't think, personally, I think they should just leave it how it is here at the open ending. But I also could see a very, very small potential for a season 2. I highly doubt it, though, and I don't think it would be helpful to the series. I think it would just be good to end it here unless they have a really great idea for a season 2. If anything, I think what would be better than a season 2 is if they did sort of a spiritual successor to it. Just a different story, but made by the same people and with the same sort of vibe, you know? So, yeah, with all that said, I thought that it was just a completely brilliant episode, and the ending was so creative and imaginative and unpredictable, really. I didn't see it coming. So because of that, I'm going to give it 10 footprints in the sand out of 10. I struggled with whether or not to give this a perfect 10 out of 10 just because of, I didn't personally like how it was chopped up at the beginning that much, but it just worked out so well, and I love the way they went for a creative route, and it was something more unexpected and not like what your typical ending would be for something like this. So I really like that they did that. Now to talk real quick about the show, as a whole, I don't even know what I said there, but the show overall I thought was really, really exciting. It had very smart writing. I think the writing was very smart, and I like that. And the big thing for me is I thought it had amazing characters and story. I really loved, as R.I.P. to Fango and Corteo. They were probably my favorite characters. They were so interesting and entertaining, and just the depths that the writers of this sent some of the characters to, like seeing Corteo's spiraling descent, seeing the depravity of Fango, seeing Frate just burning out like he did. It was really cool to see what happened with some of these characters. Seeing Angelo and Nero, of course, the main characters, just it was so good. And then I'd say my favorite part of the show was maybe around the mid-season point where Nero's group and Fango's group were teaming up to take down Don Orco, and also, what else was it? Oh yeah, and also around the time when Frate and Ronaldo's deaths happened. I thought that was my favorite area, but then again, these last 3 episodes have all 3 been just blown out of the park, amazing, so I can't really say anything bad about like the most recent episodes either. And even the first few episodes were great. Like, I went back and looked at all the scores I gave all the other episodes, and I gave almost every single episode a perfect score. Like, average together, I think it's like a 9.8 for the series overall, if I average all the scores I've given the episodes. But overall as a show, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10, because I think it's one of those things that, like, if you're an anime fan, or not even an anime fan, if you're a fan of, like, a sort of drama or a darker action drama, or especially if you're a fan of mafia stuff, I think this is one of those must-see things, because it's only 12 episodes. It's not that heavy on time to watch, and it's so good. It maybe could have been even better, but I don't think that I would change a thing. I think that it turned out incredible. So, again, wrapping up with that word. Sorry I said that so much this review. But anyway, this review turned out to be a lot shorter than I thought it would be. I thought I'd be rambling on about this for like 20 minutes or so. But I really, really enjoyed the show. And I really enjoyed the... I don't know. I'm sad to see it end. I really enjoyed sharing my thoughts of it with all of you. So, we're moving on, and from here we're going to be doing next season, instead of doing 4 anime, I'm only going to continue with One Piece, and I'm going to do Mahou Shoujo Isekai. So yeah, I think that's supposed to be a bloody survival game, magical girl mashup sort of thing. I feel like, to me, it seems like it'll be a mix between Danganronpa, which I didn't particularly like, and Madoka Magica, which I thought was one of the most genius things ever written. So, who knows? I'm excited for that, though. as much as I am sad to see 91 Days go. So yeah, well, since we're going, like if you did like the video, comment down there, tell me if you have any suggestions for more things to do. Tell me what you thought of this show, what you thought of this episode, what you thought of my thoughts on all of it. How do you think the ending, how do you interpret it? Do you think Angelo lived or died? Do you think he should have lived, or if he should have died? Or if you think Nero made the right or wrong choice either way. Do you think a season 2 is possible, and if so, what do you think they would even do? So yeah, lots of questions raised for this one. Comment down there, we can discuss that for sure. Subscribe for more anime, manga, video games, TV shows, comics, a ton of stuff. Just a ton of stuff. Follow on Twitter if you want as well. I'll try to keep you updated there on stuff for the channel, when I post stuff, push stuff back, whatever. And that's it. So thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.